Welcome to the Thinking Director channel, where thinking differently leads to living differently.
Dear friend, when we talk about success or happiness, most people think of money, skills, or luck, but very few ever ask, why do some people seem to have everything go their way, while others struggle no matter how hard they try? You might not have noticed this before, but everything in the universe, from a leaf, a stone, to you, is made up of invisible energy. Yes, energy, not just flesh and matter. Einstein, one of humanity's greatest minds, once said, "Everything is energy." And if you've ever looked into quantum physics, you'll know that beneath the surface of all matter lies vibration. And those vibrations? You guessed it, they are energy frequencies. Have you ever felt the difference when walking into two different rooms? One space feels light, calming, as if your spirit is being healed, while another, though no one says a word, still feels heavy, like something's just off. That's because every space, every person, emits a certain vibrational frequency. Put simply, emotions have frequencies too. Up triangle when you feel love, gratitude, joy, you're vibrating at a higher frequency. Down triangle when you feel anger, fear, jealousy, you're vibrating at a lower frequency. Think of emotions like music. A joyful song with a fast rhythm makes you want to dance. A slow, sad tune can move you to tears. Energy works the same way. Now, why is this important enough for me to open the entire video with it? Because success, happiness, health, relationships, wealth, all of it is directly affected by the energy frequency you're giving off every single day. Don't believe it? Try observing yourself. When you're confident, positive, full of love, don't things tend to flow more easily? But when you're anxious, bitter, or drained, doesn't life feel like an uphill battle? Here's the thing, the universe doesn't listen to your words. It responds to your energy. As ancient Eastern philosophy puts it, all things are created by the mind. In other words, the world around you is merely a reflection of your inner world. If your heart is full of love, the world will feel warm and kind. If your heart is full of resentment, you'll see everything as wrong and feel like everyone's out to hurt you. I'm not here to talk about superstition or spiritual fluff. I'm here to talk about a natural law, one proven by science, explored in philosophy, and confirmed through lived experience. And this law has the power to completely transform your destiny, if you truly understand it and live by it. Today, I invite you to take a journey with me. A journey into this invisible but incredibly powerful energy that shapes everything. And if you stay with me until the end, not just listening with your ears, but with your heart, I believe you'll discover the key to recalibrating your own frequency. Because once you shift your inner energy, the world outside will shift with you. Ready? Let's keep going. Part 2. Energy levels, low vibration people versus high vibration people. Earlier, we talked about how the outer world is simply a reflection of your inner energy. So here's the next question. Do all people have the same inner energy? The answer is no, absolutely not. In reality, every person operates on a different energy level, just like radio frequencies. Some are broadcasting at 88.1 MHz, while others are at 108.7 MHz. And guess what? You can only tune in to people who are vibrating on a similar frequency. There's a concept that may sound abstract at first, but becomes very clear once you start observing real life. Small diamond low vibration people, those who emit heavy, draining energy. Small diamond high vibration people, those who radiate warmth and light. Think back for a second. Have you ever met someone who, just by being near, made you feel safe and calm? They didn't even need to say much. Their mere presence felt like emotional sunlight. And then, there are others. Each conversation with them leaves you emotionally exhausted. They didn't say anything offensive, but afterward, all you want is to go home, shut the door, and just lie down. That's not coincidence. That's the difference in energy frequency between people. New moon low vibration people often show up in these ways. They constantly feel like something's missing. They know how to take, but rarely how to give. They envy others, resent success, and struggle to sincerely wish others well. There's a coldness to them, not just in what they say, but how they feel. You may have met someone like that, someone whose voice alone feels like a winter wind. Cold, hollow, and draining. These aren't evil people, but their energy lacks light. They carry what Eastern traditions call ta-ki, a shadowy, heavy aura. Sun. And what about high vibration people? They're like little walking suns. They don't just have warmth, they share it freely. They help others without calculation. They genuinely hope good things happen for those around them. They smile with their eyes and speak from the heart. These people might not be rich or famous, but being around them feels like breathing fresh air. And you'll find yourself wanting to see them again and again. Tornado. But here's an important warning. Even high vibration people can get drained if they spend too much time around low vibration ones. Have you heard of a black hole in space? It swallows everything, light, time, even matter, and nothing escapes. Well, unfortunately, some people in real life are like that too. They don't mean to harm anyone, but their energy only knows how to absorb, not generate. And if you're not careful, they'll drain you dry. Bullseyes. So remember this. You are not the sun big enough to warm the whole winter. If you're trying to live positively, do not spend too long with those who radiate negativity. In some relationships, after a while, you'll notice you smile less, you feel heavier, you lose your love for life. That's your soul telling you your frequency is slipping. Light bulb. Let's take a closer look. For example, in romantic relationships, a warm, kind woman can make a man feel like he's finally come home. Her energy grounds him. It lifts him up, makes him stronger, more focused, more inspired. But a cold-hearted, emotionally draining woman, no matter how beautiful or smart, can leave a man completely worn out and confused. This isn't bias. This is energy dynamics. And it's very, very real. So when choosing a life partner, a business partner, or even a friend, don't judge based on degrees, background, or looks. Pay attention to the energy they radiate. If they make you feel at ease, lighter, that's someone worth keeping. If they consistently make you feel heavy or drained, then it may be time to gently walk away. We live in a world flooded with information. But what truly makes your life better isn't more advice. It's fewer low-frequency interactions. Raising your vibration isn't some unreachable goal. It starts with one simple decision. Step away from what drains you. Move toward what makes you better. Part 3. The secret to changing your destiny. If I told you, your life right now isn't shaped by your parents, or by your circumstances, but by your inner world, would you believe me? I know, that can be hard to accept, especially if you're going through a difficult time. But give me a few minutes. Let's take a step back, and look at this from a deeper angle. When I was young, I believed that being born into a wealthy family would make life easier. But as I grew older, I realized, some people are born into privilege, yet still feel empty, depressed, or stuck. Meanwhile, others start with nothing, and somehow go far, live joyfully, and inspire others. So what truly makes the difference? The answer is inner strength, the energy you build within. Here's a simple truth that many people avoid. Stop sign. If you don't change, your destiny won't change. Green circle. If you do change, everything around you will begin to shift. It's no accident that the old wisdom says, your appearance reflects your heart. Your surroundings reflect your mind. What you see outside is just a mirror of what's happening inside. Have you noticed? People who constantly complain always seem to attract more problems. Those who blame others always seem to be surrounded by people who give them more to blame. But those who are grateful, who learn from pain and grow from struggle, they attract new opportunities, better people, and brighter paths. Why? Because the energy they carry draws in everything that matches that frequency. I remember a time when I was at rock bottom. I asked my mentor, how do I get out of this situation? He smiled and said, stop trying to escape it. Change yourself, and the situation will shift on its own. I didn't understand it then. But now, I do. Round push pin. Change the way you think, and you'll change the way you feel. Round push pin. Change the way you feel, and you'll change the way you act. Round push pin. And when your actions change, your life changes. Let's be honest for a second. Have you ever blamed your parents for not giving you a better start? Have you ever blamed society for not offering you enough opportunity? Have you ever thought you weren't smart enough and settled for an average life? I used to think all of that too. Don't rush to act. Don't blame anyone. Just go inward and ask yourself, where is my energy level today? Am I living in the frequency of hope or fear? Because here's the truth. To change your destiny, you don't need a new house, a new job, or a new partner. What you need is a new version of yourself. Part 4. Stand your ground and don't waste energy on arguments. You know, one of the hardest things about modern life isn't the lack of information, it's the overload of opinions. Every time you open your phone, you walk into a jungle of debates. Who's right? Who's wrong? East or West? Whose philosophy is better? What's the ethical way to build wealth? Should we live for ourselves or for others? Everyone seems to have a point. But have you noticed? The more we argue, the more exhausted we feel. Once, I asked an elderly teacher, "How can I know if I'm right or wrong in a world this loud?" He simply shook his head and replied, "Don't try to win with words. Hold your ground and protect your inner peace." And he was right. In an era where everyone wants to speak, silence and inner steadiness are a form of wisdom. Cyclone people with high energy don't need to argue. They don't need to prove they're right. Because the way they live is proof enough. In the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu wrote, "Those who are truly good do not quarrel. Those who quarrel are not truly good." And Zhuangzi, a legendary Chinese philosopher, once said something I'll never forget. "If I speak and you understand, there's no need to argue. If I speak and you don't understand, arguing is useless." Because at its core, arguing is a clash of energy. Every time you feel the need to prove yourself right, your energy gets pulled downward. Don't believe me? Next time, notice how you feel after a heated argument. Even if you win, you still feel drained. Now, that doesn't mean we should stay silent about everything, or that we should avoid taking a stance. It simply means, know what you believe, live it, and don't waste your energy trying to convince those who don't want to hear it. People with true inner strength don't need to shout, "I'm right." They just live rightly, and the world catches on eventually. You'll meet people who say one thing today, then something totally different tomorrow. Today they're into one trend, tomorrow it's the complete opposite. No matter how smart they are, you can't trust them, because they have no roots, no core. It's like plants. A blade of grass with no roots bends in every wind. Shedding tree, a deep-rooted tree stands tall, even in storms. And people are the same. A trustworthy person isn't someone who's never wrong. It's someone who's consistent in values. Light bulb now. Holding your ground doesn't mean being stubborn. It means having the wisdom to tell. What are your core values? What are just passing emotions? And what's simply not worth your breath? Sometimes, the strongest answer is silence. Not because you have nothing to say, but because you've outgrown the need to say it. So if lately you've felt lost in a world full of opinions and shouting, please remember this. Fire the ones who stay calm, quiet, and anchored in their truth, are the ones with the highest energy. They don't need to win, because they know, the greatest victory is not in defeating others, but in not losing yourself. Part 5. The frequency of love, the highest state of being. Do you remember when we talked about energy? That emotions have frequencies. Joy and gratitude vibrate high, while fear and anger vibrate low. So, what's the highest frequency of all? The answer is love. But love isn't just sweet words. It's not about saying, "I love you," or sending heart emojis. The kind of love I'm talking about is a steady, radiant inner state. It's when you look at others without judgment. It's when you genuinely wish them well, even if they haven't done anything for you. Did you know? According to research in energy science, the emotion of love vibrates at an extremely high frequency. It has the power to heal cells, boost immunity, and calm the mind. In fact, when you meditate with love or gratitude, your heart rhythms and brainwaves start to sync, creating what scientists call a flow state, a deep, peaceful sense of happiness. And here's the magic. Son, when you live in the frequency of love, right pointing arrow, everything around you softens. Right pointing arrow, your relationships warm up. Right pointing arrow, your hardships turn into lessons, not punishments. I'm not saying this as some spiritual guru. I'm saying it as someone who's walked through very dark times. There was a point in my life where I lost everything. My money, my loved ones, my willpower. I fell into a spiral of anger, self-blame, and resentment. My energy hit rock bottom. Nothing got better. The more I resisted, the more I sank. Until one day, I didn't fight. I just asked myself a gentle question. What if I chose to love this life, even when it's not perfect. And something shifted. Tulip, I felt lighter. Seedling, I started sleeping better. Sun, face, and slowly, good things started to return. From that experience, I learned something profound. Red exclamation mark, you don't have to wait for life to be perfect in order to love it. Right finger, it's because you love that life begins to heal and become whole. You want more luck? Love. You want financial flow? Love. You want peace in your relationships? Still, love. But love doesn't begin with others. It starts with you. Try sending love to yourself. Even if you're unemployed, lost, or feeling weak right now. Love is the original frequency of the universe. In Eastern philosophy, from Buddhism to Taoism, there's a shared idea. Everything begins with the heart. And the original heart is pure, compassionate, and loving. Fear came later. It was born from wounds, scarcity, and distrust. But love was always there, just waiting for you to return to it. So if you feel stuck, if you're drowning in negativity, instead of asking, how do I escape this? Try asking, can I look at this through the lens of love? What can I learn from this experience? Can I forgive, not because they deserve it, but because I deserve peace? When you change your perspective, your feelings shift. When your feelings shift, your energy shifts. And when your energy shifts, your whole life changes. You don't need to change everything in your life. You only need to adjust the frequency you live on. And if you choose the frequency of love, you'll realize. Sparkling heart life doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs you to live it with an honest heart, and that is beautiful enough. Part 6. Signs of a high vibration person. Have you ever met someone who just made you feel at ease the moment they walked into the room? They don't say much. They don't try to impress. And yet, just by being there, the whole space feels lighter, brighter. That is a high vibration person. Someone who radiates positive energy. It's not hard to recognize them. You just have to feel, not analyze. How do they make you feel? Tense and drained, or calm and at peace? Here are 7 clear signs of someone with good energy. And they might just become the best companion on your life journey. Glowing star 1. Their presence alone brings peace. They don't have to say much. They don't have to try. Just being near them feels like a gentle warmth inside. Like a candle in the dark, not blinding, but enough to light the way. Speech balloon 2. They speak with kindness and spark inspiration. When you share your struggles, they don't shut down your hopes. They don't toss out empty cliches like, just stay positive. Instead, they gently ask, do you want to change this? If you do, I believe there's a way. And somehow, you start to believe in yourself again. Wrench 3. They focus on solutions, not blame. When things go wrong, they don't rush to complain or point fingers. They simply ask, what can we do differently next time? And then, they act. Their calmness is contagious. Red heart 4. They help, without needing credit. So, some people help just to be praised. But these people help because they want to see you do well. They show you small steps, guide you patiently, and then quietly step back. No boasting, no need for thanks. Like a gardener planting seeds and waiting silently for flowers to bloom. Tears of joy 5. They make you laugh at just the right moment. Not forced jokes, not fake cheer, but that rare kind of person who, even on your darkest days, knows how to say just the right thing, to lift the heaviness and make you smile. They pass on their energy through laughter and lightness. Seedling 6. They take care of themselves with balance. Positive people are rarely chaotic. They get enough sleep. They eat well, exercise, read, reflect. They spend time with themselves, not to escape, but to recharge. They know you can't give energy to others if you haven't filled your own cup. And being around them makes you want to live better. 2. Sun face 7. They bless others from the heart. They don't envy your success. In fact, they genuinely celebrate it. Not the good for you, while their eyes say otherwise. But a sincere, warm-hearted smile. That's amazing. I'm truly happy for you. Around someone like that, you'll feel more confident, more enough. So when you find someone like this, hold on to them. But even more importantly, if you want more of these people in your life, there's one simple truth. You must become one of them first. Because positive people don't attract each other with words. They find each other through frequency. When you emit light, you'll draw in the stars. Compass. The world today has more than enough negativity. More than enough people tearing others down. But if you can be the one who shines, who uplifts, who inspires, then you are the hope. Part 7. Conclusion. Practice and radiate. So, you've made it all the way here with me. If you're still listening, still reflecting, still nodding quietly to yourself, then I truly believe you are not an ordinary person. You are someone who deeply longs for change. And you know what? Just the fact that you desire change already sets you apart from 90% of the world out there. Because most people want life to change, but don't want to change themselves. I don't have a shortcut to instant wealth. I don't have a 3-day formula for success. But there's one thing I do know for sure. If you change your energetic frequency, your destiny will begin to shift. You don't need to do anything grand or dramatic. Start with the smallest steps. Checkmark each morning. Ask yourself, what kind of energy will I give off today? Am I living in the frequency of love or fear? Checkmark choose to connect with uplifting people. Spend more time with those who inspire you, and less with those who drain you. Checkmark be mindful of what you watch, read, and listen to. Food feeds your body. Information feeds your mind. And emotions feed your soul. And if this video spoke to your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone you care about. Because sometimes, just one sentence can open a new door for someone who feels lost. I've always believed, seedling each of us is a garden. If you plant love, you'll harvest peace. If you plant inspiration, you'll attract amazing people. And if you plant light, sooner or later, you'll be living in the light. Gift I don't promise you much. But if you've watched this entire video, and you walk away with just one thought, that, I can transform my life from the inside out, then I believe, your life has already begun to change. Party Popper, thank you for staying until the very end. If this journey resonated with you, please, bell subscribe to the channel. Love letter turn on notifications. Send mail and share this video with someone who needs it. Because light, when shared, never disappears. It only shines brighter. Folded hands, I wish you financial freedom one day. But first, I wish you a heart full of light. Because true freedom isn't about money or success. It's when your inner world is strong enough to not depend on anything at all. See you in the next videos, where we'll continue exploring how to raise your energy, own your destiny, and live a life you're truly proud of.